It did work. All right. Hopefully it won't be an issue anymore. Anyways, what's up, Internet? It's your dumbass, Panicos Gaming. And we're doing some more shiny hunting. Still stuck on Galarian Corsola. We are well over double odds now. Right on our way to triple odds. So let's just get right into it. Do I have that egg in my party? Okay. I had like one extra egg when I was, that I grabbed when I was working on Galarian Slowpoke earlier. Still need to fix that info card. I will, like, do my best to remember to fix that this weekend. Or this stream weekend. So that'd be my Monday and Tuesday are my days off from streaming. Yeah, anyways, we're going to do the same method as we did yesterday, because I did really like how that worked. Maybe in the future I can visit the idea of, you know, breeding, like, however many eggs I plan on doing on a stream, I guess. And just kind of pre-breeding those, or pre-collecting the eggs before the stream, and then we can hatch them on stream. But I'm not going to do that yet. Partially just because since I do have two hunts going on, both this one and the Slowpoke one off stream, the Slowpoke is, yeah, no, it's, I just don't want to do, I don't want to be working on a off-stream hunt and then also off-stream work on my on-stream hunt. It just, I don't want to do that. And honestly, maybe I never will, because there's always going to be stuff that I'm working on off-stream. Maybe not always consistently, but there will always be stuff. Stuff like, you know, the Reggies. I think in the future those will all be off-stream, assuming they're even happening in, like, Sword and Shield. Oh, there we go. Or, you know, like my Cobalion hunt I'm working on, or Suicune. I'm telling, I don't know, man. I, like, probably should work on Suicune on stream some more, but also I just can't make myself do more Dynamax adventures, man. It just sucks so much. Also, sorry, I am adjusting my belt right now. I had it tight earlier for when I was at my other job, because these pants are, like, too big, but not in, like, the waistband, really. Like, obviously I'm using a belt, so they're a little too big, but the big thing is they're actually they're slightly too long. They're like one size too long or something, and so I have to, like, keep my belt, or I have to keep my waistline up a little bit higher than I usually do, otherwise, like, the heel drags. But yeah, I don't know, like, the Registeel hunt being awful and the Suicune hunt being awful are for two separate reasons, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately, because otherwise it would be probably even more awful. Registeel is just bad just because it's been so long. Like, honestly, I don't mind doing that hunt if the odds weren't too bad, but the 1 in 4,000 odds is just, I can't with that hunt. Eventually, I will get back to it. That is one that I will finish on stream, just in the future with the other Reggies. If I even do those hunts, it won't be on stream. If it's those odds. If the new games have the Reggies and the odds are better, as in not complete garbage, then I'll be fine. And we'll try and do those on stream, maybe. But then Suicune just playing by myself in, you know, offline, basically, so I have to use the AI, since that profile doesn't actually have Nintendo Switch Online. Though I do wonder if I could do that hunt. I would assume there's not really much stopping me from doing that hunt on my shield save. Really don't know why I couldn't. I guess the only issue would be I would have to... Well, I do know I would transfer over my Galate, I guess. My one that's already set up for shiny hunting. So that would be fine. I don't know, maybe I could. Because, I mean, I shouldn't say obviously, but I don't speak Japanese, like, at all. So, I just made that profile, or that save, basically, for hunting for dittos and raids. Trying to get, like, perfect dittos, perfect stat dittos. Oh, come on, fucking laptop, don't do this shit. My laptop has now decided that it's going to just buffer the video instead of, you know, actually, like, showing me the fucking stream. Just hit... Oh, right, I have to fucking hit the function key on this laptop to make it do anything. Which is probably better. That's, for most people, I think that is more useful, but it's annoying to me. Yay, my laptop's doing the thing where the internet just decides it doesn't work anymore. God fucking damn it, man. Alright, hold on, give me a second. Oh, we're doing this troubleshooting shit. I'm gonna try to fix this once. If it doesn't, I'll just have to have the dashboard on in the background of my desktop. To be honest, don't have my hopes very high. Again, this laptop, steaming pile of shit. Do not ever buy the $200 laptop that you find. It won't be worth it. What's funny is the Chromebooks actually might be okay, especially for this purpose. I don't know if there is a $200 Chromebook, but for this purpose, it might be okay. But I really wanted a Windows laptop, just because I'm more familiar with it. And yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. And it's still running extremely slowly. But hey, I got that back up. Cool. Yeah, if I have a lot of issues with that tonight, we'll just do the thing where I have it on in the background. Which isn't ideal because I can't, like, watch it. You know? Like, it's good. I like having that set up to the side because if there is an issue going on with the stream, like if for some reason the compression is, like, super screwy or something, it's, like, really nice to just be able to see that. And also, you know, it's also good if, like, something weird happens on stream, I can, since it is a little bit delayed, I can, like, double check that and be like, did I just actually see that? And then confirm if I am crazy or not. But it's always good to have your Twitch dashboard up somewhere while you're streaming. Granted, like, a lot of stuff I still have on my OBS as well. Like, I have the Twitch activity feed, the chat, the stuff to, like, edit the title and whatnot. But still good regardless. So I don't think there was any more Pokemon news today. Obviously, we had that new trailer come out for Scarlet and Violet yesterday. Did I say today or yesterday when I was saying no new news had come out? Anyways, it's late. Anyways, so yeah, another new news, which is not too terribly surprising. It is a Friday. Typically, they release stuff on, like, or Thursdays, you know. It was, like, possible we might have seen a new wild area event today, but I wasn't expecting it at all, because it's... I don't know, it's just... I don't think we'll see it until the end of the month, if we see one at all, to be honest. Because being that Sword and Shield should be winding down at this point, I really think again, at most, I think we'll see 2 more events in Sword and Shield. For the wild area stuff, anyways. So we'll see maybe a Halloween event. I think that one is fairly likely. And then maybe we'll see some sort of launch celebration event. when the new games come out. And that one, I think, is fairly unlikely. I will say, actually, I did see this news. There's going to be an event in Splatoon 3 to celebrate the release, which is really cool. So you'll be able to choose, like, Team Fire, Water, or Grass, and it'll have, like, each of the new starters in it, which is pretty neat. And you'll actually be able to get the, it'll be, like, on the shirt of the characters. And you can actually, you'll be able to buy that shirt, although I think it was said that, I don't know if it'll be available, like, online at all. I think it'll just be available in stores. Like, I know specifically it said that the shirts would be available in, like, in the US, it would be at the New York Pokemon Center, which, you know, not gonna go to New York, just go buy a t-shirt. But we'll see. It could be, maybe it'll be sold online. We'll just have to see. I don't know if I'd buy one of those shirts anyways, but it is cool. I do love seeing the, did I? No, I didn't move the fucking Pokemon over. God damn it. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm still, like, trying to get used to this new, method that I'm working on. Because in the past, I would just, I would get a set of 5 eggs, and then I'd cross the bridge over and over until they all hatched, and then I'd come back and get 5 more eggs. This, grabbing eggs as, like, I'm working on the hatching is kind of new. I guess one thing about this is that, and I didn't think about this until I was working on a Slowpoke earlier today, was this does actually slow down the, like, hatching process while I'm, like, it takes longer for each egg to hatch, because since I'm not using the boost on the bike during this section, so it kind of slows that down, but it does speed up collecting the eggs by a lot. And once we have all our eggs, I think today, I've actually not completely decided yet if I'm going to do 150 or 200 eggs. We'll see how long this goes. But either way, once I hit, like, my target for eggs, then I will, then, you know, I'll just start crossing the bridge, and then I can start boosting. But I do like this method so far. Again, I'm still trying to get used to it, because I'm not used to, this style. But it did seem like it was a little bit faster yesterday overall. But I guess this is a weird time to kind of mix up my style, being that we aren't even sure right now if there will be breeding in the new games. Which, normally you'd think it'd be a given, right? Because, like, they haven't really touched breeding in a lot of generations. I think Gen 4 introduced the Masuda method. And then the sequels for Gen 5 introduced the Shiny Charm. But other than that, like, the overall mechanics have been fairly similar. There, you know, there's been some changes to how stats transfer down and, you know, how abilities and all that stuff work, but overall the mechanics have been the same. You know, you go collect eggs, you ride around with them or walk around with them, and eventually they hatch. But the new games, they've showed off, I guess, to be fair, we don't know if the hatching part of it is going to be different, and we do know there are eggs. What's concerning is that we aren't sure if the creation of eggs is going to be completely different because of the new picnic mechanic. We do know that the you can actually get eggs from that. Just sometimes, you know, when you're doing your picnic thing, which is basically it seems to be basically camping in this game. But they've kind of, since you can get eggs from that, it's kind of worrying because it's like, well, is that going to be the only way to get eggs? I really hope not. And if according to the leaks, they seem to imply that. That being said, the leaks, I don't think the leaks have been outright wrong on a bunch of stuff yet, but they've been like all the information that we've gotten, if there was in the leak somewhere, like the information hasn't, how am I trying to say this? For instance, so here's like a good example is one of the leaks or whatever kind of said that there's going to be new forms of Gallade, right? that there was going to be actually like a past and a future version of Gallade in the new games. Instead of necessarily like the regional forms that we've seen before, it would be introducing kind of like a past and a present version. We're pretty sure at this point, though, what that actually is Cerule Edge and Armorage, or Rouge, which aren't actually related to the Gallade line at all, but they do very much look like they would be related to Gallade in some way, right? Potentially, I guess that could be wrong. Maybe there is going to be also a future and a past version of Gallade that's completely separate from those, but it seems like that's going to be it. So that's kind of what I mean is like, I don't think they're lying with the leaks at all. That's the way I wanted to say it. I don't think the leaks are lying, but they might be misinformed, and I'm hoping breeding is among those, because they have said that, like, basically the daycare center won't be there, and that the picnic mechanic is going to be... Well, originally it actually said that breeding wasn't in the game. And then that was later changed to say that it is in the game, but it's through the picnic mechanic now instead of through a daycare center. Hopefully what that is, though, is just they haven't seen the daycare center yet in whatever preview build that they're using. Because, man, if they completely remove breeding, that's going to be a sad day for shiny hunting. This has been a staple of shiny hunting for quite a while. But, you know, we'll just have to see. I mean, if it's like Legends Arceus, where getting shinies through encounters is just incredibly easy, you know, that might change things a little bit. Sorry about that. I had to cough. So, but yeah, I don't know. I prefer breeding a lot of times. I mean, the original way that you could farm the outbreaks in Legends Arceus, where you could just save and then basically reset and you would get another set of spawns, was really, really nice. But they then patched that out, and it wasn't as good. Massive mass outbreaks aren't bad at all, or they aren't that bad, but it's because it's harder to hunt for a specific Pokemon, it's not as interesting to me personally. So, like, you get a lot more random shinies and stuff from Legends Arceus, but it feels a lot less like you're shiny hunting and more like you're just being given a bunch of shinies, if that makes any sense. Like, it's a lot harder to specifically hunt for whatever Pokemon you want or need. I don't know why I keep on, like, missing one of these as I'm doing this. One unfortunate thing with this method for breeding is you're doing a lot more inventory management, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. Whereas, you know, with the other way I would do it with getting the 5 and then you know, hatch those, then you get another 5 and hatch those. Like, you never needed to, like, move stuff around because you could just transfer it over. It was just, you know, you moved it out of your party, and then you go and collect eggs. Then you move them out of your party, and you go and collect eggs. This is like you have to move eggs around, and then move it out of the party, and then move eggs back in, and... But, again, it did seem like overall yesterday it went a little bit faster. So, and also, again, it's nice to just change it up a little bit. It does seem like it's a little bit more interesting, at least for me, because I'm doing less time where I'm just riding back and forth for, you know, a minute at a time. For the most part, with the egg spawning, it's, you know, it's pretty good that I'm not like doing the writing for a long amount of time without doing something else. Yeah, I guess it would be smart of me to decide how many eggs I'm going to do today. Because I believe I had 10 Corsola already in that box. So if I do 150, we'll see. I got a little while till I get up there. I mean, 150 is 5 full boxes. And that will make it a little bit longer than it was yesterday. Because yesterday we did 125. It was kind of a weird number yesterday, but that's because we ended on a weird number on last Saturday, actually. Yeah, last Saturday, because we ended on 1025, because I wanted to get up to exactly double shiny odds. Still didn't get the shiny then. By the way, got to 1150 last night and still don't have the shiny. But, as I mentioned a lot, it's like, this can happen, you know? It's, you know, if you look at that percentage number, yes, there is a almost 90% chance that if you hatch 1,173 eggs, you will have gotten at least one shiny by that point. But it's not, you know, there's still a 10% chance that you wouldn't, so definitely more likely to have gotten it than not, but definitely not, like, unreasonable that I haven't gotten it. The scary thing is, when I was doing the math the other day, and I was like, yeah, you know, at, like, 2,300 eggs or something, that's when you get up to, like, you're at 99% chance that you will have seen at least one shiny. That's still not, like, you know, it's a 1 in 100 chance, but think about this. If I were to breed every Pokemon in the Pokedex, I understand that's not necessarily possible, just work with me here, but so all 900 Pokemon in the Pokedex, that would mean that probably like 9 times during all those hunts total, it would go to 2,300 eggs without getting a shiny. So, oh wait, hold on. I didn't move eggs back, did I? Nope. One day I'll get better about doing that. I might be wrong about my math on that, with the thing about the 1% chance with 2,300 eggs, but I don't know that I am. And the fact that you can go almost 5 times odds, you know what? I say that. That's not as bad as I want it to seem. Honestly, 5 times over odds is still really, really bad. But like, it's, you know, depending on how you look at that number. But I don't think that'll happen, to be quite honest. I think, well, I'd like to say that I think we'll get it by 2,000 at the very worst, but that's like, that's such a very broad prediction that it's not really helpful in any way, I'm sure. Yeah, hopefully like this Tuesday or Wednesday I can hopefully stop being lazy and get like my counter kind of changed over so that way I can have like 2 different tallies going for showing, you know, how many total eggs I've done for a shiny hunt and how many I've done for this, you know, the current stream. So like for this one I would have one number that would have said like at the start of the stream, it would have said 1150, and then the other number would have started at 0, if that makes sense. But yeah, I need to do that. I also need to like work on some more design, like changing some of my design stuff. I do want to have that stuff. I'm a little bit less worried about. Like the counter is like kind of like do it sooner so I can make sure everything's gonna work properly. But like the design stuff, I'm not as worried about as long as it's done by the new game coming out, basically. Did I count that one? Speaking of, I did. Okay. The other thing is, though, bringing that up, is I did see there's going to be a pretty big update to the now playing widget that I use. So the thing that shows the music that's currently playing. Hopefully that will be out pretty soon here. I think it said sometime by the end of the month. And that seems to have a lot more customization for... Hey, thank you for the follow, man. Bates Dan 77, thank you. Definitely appreciate it. It'd probably be as good a time as any to repeat again that I do stream, well, last month or so I've been pretty inconsistent with streaming, but I'm getting back into a schedule of streaming every day, Wednesday through Sunday, so that means no streams on Monday or Tuesday, and I stream around, it depends on the day a little bit, but typically I will start somewhere between 10:30 and 12:30, that is Mountain Standard Time, so right now it is basically 1 a.m., so do the calculation for your local time, and I typically will go for about 2 or 3 hours. And this is basically all I do. I did just finish up a playthrough of Let's Go Eevee. I played it before in the past, but I felt like doing it on stream. Definitely still enjoyed it, but the flaws were a lot more obvious this time around, like how completely broken that Eevee is, your starter. And, boy, motion controls are a thing. That goddamn Zapdos, man. That Zapdos about broke me. But yeah, man, other than that, other than the casual playthrough, I will obviously be playing through Let's Go, or not Let's Go, Scarlet. Yeah, I'm getting Scarlet. Oh, also, on that, even though this is just like complete change of topic, but I have mentioned a few times in the past that I was under the I thought I had seen somewhere that Pokemon Home was going to be updated to support the new games on day one. That's not the case. They've said they'll be updated at some later point. More than likely, it'll probably be about 3 months after the games come out. So, like, they come out in November, we'll probably see that update in February of the next year. That's typically when they, like, have the updates for Pokemon Home, but it's with BDSP and Legends Arceus is a little weird. I think because it was late even for, like, if it had just been Legends Arceus that launched, but that whole update was weird because they did have to do a lot of extra work to get, like, Pokemon able to just go in and out of Legends Arceus at will, kind of, unlike with the Let's Go games where you can take Pokemon out of Let's Go into Home and then move them back into Let's Go, but if you take a Pokemon out of Let's Go into Home, then move it to Sword and Shield, it can never go all the way back to Let's Go. It will always be locked out of it. They didn't do that with Legends Arceus, but they had to do a lot more work with that, I believe. So that's why that update took so long. Not that it should have, but that was why. And typically with, like, Pokemon, with Pokemon Bank in the past, with the 3DS games, it was about 3 months for those updates to come out for Bank to support those games. So hopefully around February we will get the Pokemon Home update. Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about before I went off on my spiel about about when I stream. Anyways, I know something about the now playing thing. Oh, one of the updates with that, they're adding a paid subscription model to that, which, as far as they've said, everything currently in that widget is going to be completely free. It's just going to be some new features they're adding, which hopefully is fine. I mean, it's a decent widget, you know. You do deserve to get paid for your work, but just, you know, don't make it really bad with that, please. But one of the things that they are adding for free, I believe, is it's going to support stuff like, because there's going to be a browser extension, and so it's going to support stuff like YouTube, and I forget, there was something else it was going to support too. I need to actually put eggs back in. Whoops. Don't know why I've been so bad about that today. But that could be interesting to, like, play music from YouTube instead of just, you know, just using Stream Beats. But also, I do really like Stream Beats. The stuff Harris Heller does is awesome, and also you, like, basically never have to worry about songs getting flagged for copyright. Because in theory, they're supposed to all be under... I don't know if they're actually under, like, a proper Creative Commons license, but it is basically like, yes, you can use it for, you know, whatever you want for, like, YouTube and Twitch and other online... at least YouTube and Twitch. Who knows if maybe they aren't okay with on other platforms, but you don't have to worry about paying them to license it or anything, which is awesome. And there are other, like, playlists on like Spotify that say they're, like, copyright-free playlists, and I used one of those one time, and I got, like, 3 different copyright flags for that video. Not like, you know, not like copyright strikes. It wasn't like I got in trouble or anything. It's just, if in the future my YouTube channel ever gets monetized, I wouldn't be able to monetize that video, because that money has already been claimed. And so, yeah, just never again with that. But Stream Beats by Harris Heller is pretty much always good to go. But, you know, I should look into if the lo-fi... I don't think you're supposed to use the Lo-Fi Girl playlist or the Lo-Fi Girl stream as, like, your background music. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that. But who knows? We'll see. But that would also make it easier for doing stuff like, I believe, like, media requests and stuff like that on streams. I'm not gonna... It would be a long time before I do any sort of media requests. Though, I don't know, I guess shiny hunting wouldn't be a bad place to do that, honestly. But generally, you don't do that unless you're able to take, like, bits or subs or something on Twitch. And I'm not even affiliate yet, let alone partner. I guess you could probably just do it with affiliate, but the point is I'm not quite there yet, so... But, you know, we'll get there. Especially with Scarlet and Violet getting out. It's just, you know, this is kind of, well, it's... I think interest in Pokemon is ramping back up a little bit, but it's definitely lulled a little bit since Legends Arceus. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just how it goes, you know. The game's always going to get the most... Or games in general are always going to get the most viewership when they, when there's been a recent release. And, I mean, this game itself is from 2019, so I think it's probably still a lot more popular on Twitch. Well, it's a lot more popular on Twitch than BDSP, but not, like... Probably not as much as Legends Arceus. Also, I know a lot of people, they'll, like, play ROMs, or they'll do ROM hacks or something, and they'll just put it in the Legends Arceus category instead of, like, the game that the ROM hack is for. This could be the one, huh? Yeah, any one of these 1190 could have been the one. But, you know, that's just how my luck has been. To be fair, I can't complain too much about bad luck. Before this, the hunt that I did before this one was for a coughing, so I could get Galarian wheezing. That's my, like, big thing I'm working on right now. By the way, welcome to the stream, Soyable. I do appreciate you tuning in. Did I move over eggs? I didn't do it again, did I? God damn it. I don't know why I'm so bad about this right now. I didn't have this issue last night. I did it a couple times. But yeah, I was working on... I'm working on trying to get all of the Galarian forms as shinies before the new games come out. We'll see if that happens. I still need like 7 or something, so... And I hatched 5 only coughing came. No, so actually, I hatched like 200 something. I got the coughing. But then as I was doing that, a person in my chat noticed as I took coughing out of the daycare center that both my Pokemon were named in Japanese, which means I didn't have Masuda method going. It was just Shiny Charm. So instead of 1 in 512 odds, it was 1 in 1366 odds. So, to put it in perspective, I got that in like 200 eggs when if I was at this egg count on coughing, I would still technically be under odds. Yeah, got incredibly lucky with that. So, I guess this is just the Pokemon universe punishing me for my good luck and replacing it on a different Pokemon. But as awful as this is, like I've said already, so that percentage underneath the egg count, that is how likely it is. It's all got to balance out somehow. Yeah, exactly. That percentage underneath the counter, that is how likely that I am that with this many eggs hatched, I would have seen at least one shiny. So if you hatch 1,190 eggs, there's about a 90.23% chance that you'll see at least one shiny. But on the flip side of that, that means there's also about a 10% chance that you won't have seen a shiny yet. So it's like it feels a lot worse than it is in terms of odds, when realistically, it's still not all that out there. But I don't know, hopefully we get it today, because, God, I would like to work on something else at some point. This is the 9th stream I've done of this, and they've mostly all been like 2 or 3 hour streams apiece, so, it's been a little bit. Hey, what's up, Reverse Dawn? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, everyone who's coming in tonight. Definitely do appreciate the support. Still trying to chase that affiliate dream right now. Happy I got up to the follower numbers, but being that I do a lot of late night streams, it's been more than a few that have been not very active chats, we'll say. Got all the Hisuian forms. I have... So, living dex wise, that means no shinies. Sorry, it's been a late night. I need more fucking caffeine. You'll notice if you stick around, I tend to lose my train of thought quite quickly. Either because I get distracted by something or, whatever happens. But, yeah, so I have, living dex-wise, I have the entire national dex. Just like, entire national dex, all alternate or all regional forms. I don't have all the alternate forms yet, but that's kind of like a minor thing to me. Not too worried about that. But in terms of shinies, I don't have all the Hisuian forms yet. That is what I'm working on right now. I did get all of... Oh, sorry, you know what? I'm stupid. My apologies. I saw you said you got all the Hisuian forms, and I thought you were talking Galarian forms. My bad, Soyable. You'll also notice if you stick around that I'm very much a complete fucking moron, so you can get used to dumb mistakes like that. But yeah, I did get all the Hisuian forms. I was very happy about that. Took a little bit of work. Getting the Hisuian starters kind of sucked, just because I got very spoiled. I did put eggs back in, right? Hey, I actually did it this time. But yeah, getting the starters was like the worst part because like I got very spoiled very early on with the outbreaks because I didn't update the game for a long time, so the outbreaks were still resettable, I guess, instead of just like you only get to do one. And then but the starters you can't do in the normal outbreaks, they're only in the mass outbreaks, and so you have to do it that way, and just those odds aren't as good. And there's not really a... Sorry for burping. Really need to be better about muting the microphone. There's a way to farm them, but it isn't necessarily as good, and like the odds in general are just not as good. They're not bad by any means. I mean, they're still sub 1 in 300 with the shiny charm, but it definitely takes a lot longer. Doing all the different permutations for each outbreak. But yeah, got all those. I was so happy about that. Got all the, like the brand new Pokemon, so Overquill, Ursaluna, stuff like that. I know there wasn't really too many of those in the Legends Arceus, but still. So that's kind of why I'm like want to catch up on the Galarian forms. Unfortunately, when these games came out, I wasn't too terribly interested in shiny hunting. I mean, occasionally I would do like some casual hunts, even casually looking for shiny Samurott forever. Oh, don't worry, man, you'll get it sometime. But yeah, I wasn't really too worried about shiny hunting, so like I missed some of the wild area events and didn't, you know, do a whole lot of breeding or anything. Just some, you know, again, casual attempts. But I was like, you know, working on my living decks, right? So all the names, national decks, all the Pokemon in the national decks, and then all of the regional forms. And then once I got close to doing that, I will say, I should always be like trying to bring this up. Technically, my national dex isn't 100% legit right now. I've only cared about Pokemon that have been attainable on Switch titles, and so far, Diancie has not been obtainable in any Switch title. Every other Pokemon, technically Deoxys too, but I got one traded to me that I believe is technically, not technically, I'm pretty confident that it's a legit one. But the way I've always looked at it is, especially with like those mythic Pokemon, being that they're event only and stuff, it's just like, you know, I feel like it's not fair to not be able to get a living dex because of you weren't playing the games, you know, 10 years ago or whenever the hell Diancie it wouldn't have been that long, but you get my point. You can get Deoxys in Delta episode. Yeah, I know. I just couldn't convince myself to go through all of the Gen 3 remakes for one Pokemon. And also, by the time I was getting to that point, I don't really care to boot up my 3DS again. But yeah, as soon as I can get a legit Diancie, we'll do that. And moving forward, I should be able to, any like mythic Pokemon, at least eventually, I should be able to get legit, so. But anyways, I always bring that up because it's like, well, you know, technically, it's not legit, you know. There's not really a way to mark that too well on my Pokedex tracker, so it's like, well, again, personally, doesn't bother me. As far as I'm concerned, it's legit, but I know some people that have an aneurysm about that. But yeah. Anyways, once I got pretty close to having that done, I was basically down to just mythics. I was like, well, guess we can start shiny hunting. And so, probably in the last year or so, I've gotten probably, honestly, like 200 shinies. A lot of those, a lot of those were from Pokemon Go. The community days in Pokemon Go were really OP. Or, OP, it's collecting different colored versions of fucking digital monsters. Sorry, not digital monsters. This is Digimon. They're pocket monsters. Anyways. Zero Journey, do you? Yeah, I mean, again, I'm technically the only one that I have to impress. I just don't need to deal with someone crying in my chat. I already have to deal with the occasional bot trying to get me to buy views and shit. But yeah, the community days were extremely good. And then they nerfed the incense. And I think, yeah, they nerfed incense. That was a big thing, and it just made the calm days not as appealing, unfortunately. I'm still working on them sometimes, like with the most recent one for Roggenrola. I did that, and so I got the whole evolution line for that. So Roggenrola, I forget what the second one is. Boldor, I believe, is what it is. And Gigalith. Gigalith was a big one, because being a trade evolution, and we don't know for sure yet if the link cable is coming back in the new games. But yeah, got all of those, and yeah, I don't know, just working on the living decks, or shiny living decks, I guess. And then recently, so I used to use a different, oh, I must have double counted something, my bad. I used to actually use a different website for my Pokedex tracker. You would love the link cable back, dude, me too. That was, I don't know why they wouldn't bring that back, but yes. It, like, we'll just have to see, man. That was so nice to have that. There we go again. Lost my train of thought again. But yeah. Oh, there we go. So I don't know. So I was using the other website. And then for the longest time, saw they have drowsiness instead of sleep in the latest Scarlet and Violet trailer. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I do like Frostbite over Freeze. I'm not sure how I feel about. I felt like drowsy was fucking useless. Mind you, I didn't use it a whole lot, but I just felt like anytime I got hit by like the drowsy thing, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just knock you out, and then it just didn't matter. But we'll see. I'm also, again, I've said it before, but I'm kind of stupid, so it definitely wouldn't be above me to just like not understand mechanic fully. It's pointless. Okay. I'm not stupid. Or not. I'm not completely underestimating it. But yeah, so I was using the other site all the way through Legends Arceus originally. Or like, yeah, I was using it for a while. I was using it. I was waiting on it, actually, sorry, to update for Legends Arceus. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And, like, I kind of understood why it wasn't being updated when Pokemon Home hadn't been updated yet. So, you know, I wasn't too worried about it. And then the Pokemon Home update came. And then still didn't update. And it didn't update for, like, 2 more months or something after that. And I'm, like, looking at their, like, GitHub page and stuff. I'm, like, it just, as far as I could tell, it was just abandoned. And, like, I knew Super Effective existed. I just, at the time, I wasn't interested in doing, like, all of the alternate forms. Like, I like doing Alcremie and Unknown. I'll do Vivillon in the new games. I know Vivillion's not a new Pokemon, but I wasn't going to do it in the 3DS games, because, like I said, I've pretty much put my 3DS to rest at this point. But yeah, so I switched over to Super Effective. I was like, well, all this shit's here, so I might as well work on it. And also, one of my things was I didn't care about getting all of the sex differences. Like, some Pokemon are different for male versus female. I didn't really care about that, but I also thought it was a lot worse than it was. Because I didn't realize that after Gen 4, they only really did that, like, a few more Pokemon. And usually the difference was, not that, or in the newer games, since like Gen 5 and later, the difference is usually pretty big. So stuff like Pyroar, you know, having the mane instead of like the ponytail, I guess, on the female version. It's not that crazy. Yeah, I guess I always thought it was worse than it was. So when I saw that it was only like 4 or 5 boxes, I was like, well, that's actually not too bad. Maybe we'll do a form dex. Milcery is going to be insane. Well, fortunately, I already have all my Alcremie forms. There was the event, I think it was earlier this year, that was for, you could get shiny Alcremie or a shiny Milcery, and you could easily get all the candies that you needed. So I was like, well, let's just do this. Let's knock out all the Alcremies. So I did. Definitely very proud of that one. Took a few days of working on wild area raids to get that. But yeah, so I got all my stuff transferred over to Super Effective, right? Was happy with it, you know. And, you know, gave me some new goals to work on and stuff like that. No joke, like 2 days later, the other fucking website finally updates. I was like, you were basically AWOL for months, and then just out of nowhere you update as soon as I switch. It's like, come on. It's only on, yeah, it's only been a few since Gen 4. But yeah, there is some stuff in the form decks that I'm just not going to be able to reasonably do for a long time. Stuff like Deoxys. Also, I will say something that I don't like about Super Effective is that in their form decks, like, they'll have the normal form of Deoxys in the national decks, but then in the alternate forms, they'll have another one, and it's just like, well, I already have the one. Why do I need to have 2? So... but like Deoxys specifically, or like Hoopa or stuff like that, stuff that is typically mythics and only available in events. Yes, again, I know Deoxys was in the 3rd gen remakes, but I don't really care, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'll worry about that stuff when I get to it. I'm just kind of gonna work on it as I can. My form dex is kind of like a minor thing to me, especially now, because again, trying to get all my Galarian regional forms before Scarlet and Violet come out, and I am very far behind. Unfortunately, September and August, I was very inconsistent with streaming. There was just things that were coming up. My work schedule was also very inconsistent, and it made it hard for me to give a shit, to be honest. But now that I've like gotten myself back to a proper schedule, hopefully we can do it. Although, oh, I know what happened here. I never moved eggs back into my party, so this is gonna hatch them the previous way. Again, I don't know why today I'm being so bad about that. I think because yesterday it was like a completely new way of me hatching eggs that I was constantly thinking about it, but now that I've already done it, I changed it up. It used to be when I would breed and hatch eggs, I would get my party of 5, and then I would go and run across the bridge until all 5 of those eggs hatch, and I wouldn't be picking up more eggs during that time. But I saw another streamer do this a few days ago. I was like, well, let me try that. So now it's like I hatch 5 eggs, but during that time, I'm constantly picking up new eggs. And then once I get all the eggs that I plan on doing for a stream, then I just start crossing the bridge over and over. We are on 3 right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we get this. Hopefully we get this Corsola soon, because I definitely would like to move forward with my my hunts here. But you know, we'll see. That's the thing about shiny hunting. Never gets more likely that you'll actually get it. I could have bred, 10,000 eggs. Next one's still 1 in 512. It's all just RNG. And unfortunately, I did something to piss off RNGesus, so... Well, I know what I did. I got absurdly lucky on a hunt that I probably shouldn't have. But, I mean, the other thing is, like, it's hard for me to complain, even just, like, not considering the Galarian wheezing. Because it's, like, pretty much all of my hunts have been either under odds or, like, just over odds. Like, I had one hunt go into the 600s, and then everything has been, like, 500 or less. Hell, my second hunt that I, was it the second hunt I did on stream? I think it was the second. It was either the second or third shiny hunt that I did on stream ever. I got in 5 eggs. So it's like, well, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, there was a series of like 4 or 5 hunts, just like right when I started streaming about a year ago, that just like all of them were just awesome odds. Or awesome luck. Odds never changed. Do I mainly do egg hunts? I do right now. Obviously with Legends Arceus, you know, there was no breeding in that. But yeah, mostly do egg hunts just because it's pretty much there's not really a way to fail, you know? Like encounters, you can screw up and you can knock out the Pokemon, or if it's really difficult and doesn't want to be caught, it can, you know, run out of moves and struggle, or weather, or they self-destruct, or they teleport. Like, there's a lot of ways that those hunts can go wrong. That doesn't mean that I haven't ever done them. Also in BDSP, I did do some Poke Radar chaining, but Poke Radar chaining is just awful. Just because trying to do the, you know, get to the maxed odds is a 5% chance of any chain going that far. I know you don't have to go that far. I know there's definitely the strat to only go to about 20. But I did that once on a Ditto. And then I ran out of repels. Mind you, I had like well over 200 max repels. I've learned since then that actually super repels are better bang for your buck. But, I mean, still, I had already bought like the 200 something max repels. Burned through every single one of them doing it. And I went, cool. All right, we're just gonna stop doing this for a little while. And then I haven't been back to it since. And then I do have a hunt that I am currently working on. I haven't touched in like at least 6 months. But I was working on shiny hunting Registeel in this game. Actually, on my other save, but it's, you know, still Sword. You're currently doing soft resets on Ultra Sun, 11 or 1.1k resets with full odds. That's a lot of resets. It's a lot of resets. But, you know, at full odds, well, you unfortunately could still have a ways to go. But good luck, man. I hope you have better luck with that than I've had with my Registeel. Because, yeah, I was working on Registeel. I'm at, like, 3,800 encounters, and I just... Originally, when I started that hunt, because I wasn't really interested in doing a full odds hunt, I don't... Just that they seem... And in my experience now, they've been kind of miserable. Because it's just, you're doing so many. And that's not even, like, doing soft resets, really. I guess with Registeel, you have to... The way I'm doing it, I have to reset every... however many. Aiming to do 1k resets every day, call me mad. That is a lot to do every day. That is a lot. But hey, more power to me, man. If you can do it, by all means. My only concern with that would be burning out on it. But yeah, so when I originally started that Registeel hunt, as far as I could see from what I was looking up online and what people were saying, it's like, yeah, the shiny charm works on Registeel. I was like, cool. So I thought it was a 1 in 1366 chance to get it. Still, you know, pretty high, but considerably better than a 1 in 4,000. And so I did that. I got to around, I think it was around 3K that I got to. And then finally, another source came up and that I was able to actually verify and stuff because I really started looking into it. Shiny Charm doesn't work on the Regis in Sword and Shield. None of them. Not the original trio, not the brand new ones they introduced. It's basically the only Pokemon that the Shiny Charm doesn't work on. There's a couple other edge cases, like the static encounter Impidimp in the forest. So, like, there's some other weird scenarios, but, like, Impidimp, you know, you can breed or you can do normal encounters. It's just, like, interacting with the mushrooms in the forest will never... the Shining Charm doesn't affect those. So, yeah, I found that out. I went, okay, so we aren't even, like, at odds yet. I thought I was way over odds. And just ever since then, I've been so demoralized with it that I just can't go back to Registeel very often. You burnt out on Lugia. I assume that DAS is Dynamax Adventures. Or DAs, I guess. 184 KOs, and you have the Shiny Charm. Oh. Yeah, right when Dynamax Adventures came out, I did a bunch of them for Rayquaza. I was correct. Awesome. Yeah, I did a bunch against Rayquaza. Got it. That's how I got my shiny Rayquaza. So happy I got that. One of the coolest shinies in the entire franchise. Pretty much any of the black shinies tend to be pretty good when it's not a Pokemon that's not already black. Looking at you, Garchomp, and Gengar, and just all the awful shinies that barely change. But yeah, then I started working on Cresselia. And I did a whole bunch of, them against Cresselia. Probably around 100, to be honest. And, this was with Shiny Charm, so around odds. I was like, okay, I need to take a break from this. I need to work on catching some of the other legendaries. So, first one that I got was Necrozma. Necrozma, at the time, I wasn't working on a shiny dex, so Necrozma, I was like, well, Necrozma's shiny isn't very good. It goes from black to, like, dark blue. I was like, I don't really care, so I can just catch this. Not worried about it at all. We'll just catch it, get it out of the way. Not going to worry about shiny hunting it. And then we can go back to, working on Cresselia or something. Sure enough, go in, catch it, look at all the Pokemon afterwards. Guess what Pokemon was shiny? To be fair, now I'm a little bit happier that I got that, because, now that I'm actually working on the shiny decks, but at that point I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to worry about hunting for shinies and Dynamax Adventures anymore. I just went and caught all the Pokemon pretty much. But yeah, and then since I've started streaming, I was working on Suicune actually, because I was going to work on Dynamax Adventures for getting all the legendaries, and I might go back to it at some point. I might have to go back to it at some point, I should say. And yeah, I'm at like 48 attempts on Suicune, or 48 catches on Suicune. But just, God, the AI. As you say, Reverse Dawn 1. Sorry, I can't read. It's not my fault the one looks like a T, except it is because I'm half blind. But yeah, the AI in Dynamax Adventures is just so bad. It's just like, God, why? And it's gotten to the point where, kind of like Registeel, I can't go back to it right now, because it's just so infuriating trying to hunt that thing. It's just like, please, just use a gun, just stop picking a goddamn, like, oh, just like all the bad decisions the AI makes. It would be 1,000 times better with a group of people to do it. Well, the problem is, because I had to start, since I caught all the legendaries on this save. This save is my main profile that has, Nintendo Switch Online, all that. So to play through the game again, and I did also stream that playthrough. And all that is on my YouTube channel. All the VODs anyways. So I did move more into my party, right? I now have to like double check that every time. But yeah, I had to create a new profile for that, which is fine, except because I created a new profile, that profile does not have Nintendo Switch Online. So I can't even like do matchmaking or anything because, or, even like, not just matchmaking, but like, play with friends online or anything like that because that profile doesn't have an account. One of these days, I'm going to get around to setting up I believe that you can buy like a Nintendo, like a family account or whatever for Nintendo Switch Online. I might do that eventually, but for now, I just can't, especially since I'm not doing Dynamax Adventures at the moment, I just can't justify it. Hunting Xerneas with AIs is just misery. I got one after 143. So catching the Pokemon, I didn't have too much trouble with catching pretty much everything. Sometimes you fail, but most of them were pretty fine. Even stuff like Groudon, I heard a lot of people have had problems with Groudon. I apparently got really lucky, I guess. The only ones that I have never been able to do, and I probably could eventually do these, I just don't hate myself enough to try them, is Kyogre and Zygarde. And actually, one time working on Dynamax Adventures, not trying to hunt for Zygarde at all, it just came up in a random one. I don't remember now why I was doing random Dynamax Adventures, but it came up in it. And came that close to beating it with the AI. I don't know how the stars aligned. That almost happened. Because Zygarde and Kyogre are considered to be, possible, but you are gonna hate yourself trying to do it with AI. And just dumb luck almost got it. I didn't even know that it was Zygarde while I was working up to it. I just saw that it was a dragon type, I think, and grabbed ice Pokemon. But yeah, those two I would never attempt to shiny hunt without like a crew of people. But I think for me at least, for sure Dynamax Adventures are on. I'm not going to touch them until after the new games are out, and probably out for a little while, because it's possible, maybe we'll see something like Dynamax Adventures come back for the new games, whether in the base game or as DLC. I don't know how I feel about seeing those come back as DLC, at least in like a very similar fashion, because that does feel kind of lazy to like sell DLC for multiple games that has a very similar major feature instead of just including it in the games. Anyways, but who knows? We'll see if maybe the new games will just have something like that, built into the game without DLC. We do know there's raids, and we do know they are going to operate a little bit different. You hope not. For it being DLC, or for like Dynamax Adventures returning. Ho-Oh was least painful to hunt, 4x weakness. Yeah, that's the thing. Most everything that has a 4 times weakness was pretty easy. The only one that I can think of that isn't reasonable is, again, Zygarde, and that's because Zygarde is evil. That is a very evil thing. D-Max anything? Really? I mean, because we do have, it isn't Dynamax, but we do have the, Terrestrialize raids, I guess, or whatever, that they've already shown off. They are operating a little bit different. So instead of being entirely turn-based, you can all attack kind of asynchronously, and I guess just how often you get to attack is based on your speed. That would be my assumption. So we'll see how that is. I will say Dynamax is kind of like in terms of mechanics. I mean, I liked it more than Z moves, at least for what little I did play of Gen 7. I guess I didn't play little, but I didn't finish the game. And yeah, it's not as cool as Megas though. Like, I'm not even necessarily like the biggest fan of Mega Evolutions, just because I don't. To me, it's just like, okay, a temporary evolution that's based on an item. It's, I guess for a playthrough, it's probably really cool. But D-Max just broke the ranked metagame. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Smogon basically, or any Smogon format has it generally banned. It did make some fun strats coming out though. Stuff like trick eject button and stuff like that was pretty funny. But yeah, we'll see how Terrestrialize is. It is going to be interesting because it lets you just change the type on any Pokemon, potentially. Probably just one Pokemon per, like, battle. But like they've shown in the trailer so far, like having a Sudowoodo that's, I think it was water type? Or grass type, maybe it was. But like, it's just completely different typing on it, which then has effects on, like, what is its move list and how does that synergize with different potential, typings and stuff. So it'll be interesting. I liked when Gyarados clicked Max Airstreams 3 times. Yeah, Max Airstream was a mistake. I mean, Dynamax was basically a mistake, let's be honest, but I don't know. I liked the idea of raids. I even liked the idea of Dynamax Adventures, even though I wasn't as thrilled with them as most people were. Just because, again, I mostly just played with the AI, and that AI did evil, awful things to me. But, like, I really like the idea of raids. I'm happy to see that they are, at least in some capacity, coming back. But, yeah, it's probably best that they're not, that Dynamax is not, because, yeah, no. Okay, let's see here. So that's full. How many? I have 2 full boxes now. Oh, 3 full boxes. Holy shit. This is flying by. We'll just move these over here for right now. Hated escape button, especially Whimsicott swaps. Oh my god, Power Herb, Xerneas, yeah. Yeah, Trickster Whimsicott is another one of those. Well, and there's a number of Pokemon that are just like, Jesus Christ. Like, the strats that can be used with them is just like, oh my god. Like, sometimes I'm glad I don't get into competitive play at all. Even though I would like to, and if I could team build to save my life, that being like the theory side of it, like putting together a good team. Obviously, I can, train Pokemon and breed and shit, but the, like, planning a team is just like, I just can't do it. Because I'm always like, yo, let me try doing this. And then it's like somehow I'm making the worst possible choices with it. And like, yeah, I could, use other people's builds on Smogon or whatever. But, like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, not, I don't know, not building my own team, not like coming up with my own team kind of feels not like it's cheating. It just makes me not really care about doing it because it's like, well, You know, a big part of it for me is like coming up with my own team and building them myself. But 99.9% of the time, if I do that, it's going to be trash. But we'll see. Maybe I'll make some attempts into competitive with the new games. Because, like, I do, you know, I already do a lot of stuff with breeding to kind of set myself up in that direction. Like, I believe the Corsola I have in there right now has no good attack and no good speed. I might be wrong about that. It might be confusing. It might have Slowpoke or something, but yeah, when I, like, do breeding, typically I try and, like, have the best possible, parent Pokemon. So at least when I get the shiny, it should have, in theory, at least 5 out of 6 good IVs. Just double check. Oh, yeah, that would help. What? I thought I did swap stuff out. What did I guess I moved. Okay, I'm stupid. I've already said that a couple times, but that kind of reinforces it. I guess I swapped these. I swapped the eggs over and then just didn't move my Pokemon out of the team. You played Charizard with no items, so no BS is worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I also love the strat very early on of using a Ditto with Imposter to basically just counter Dynamax and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, anytime there's a, you know, kind of bullshit mechanic, yeah, a lot of times it's like, okay, well, there's no real, either there's no real way to beat it, or it's just, you know, so many teams have to plan around it that it basically, it kind of gets boring for that side of competitive stuff. But like, it's pretty cool watching people come with strategies to beat the nonsense. And then, you know, you then have people predicting those, you know, the strategies to beat the nonsense, so they make strategies to beat those strategies. And it's always interesting to watch how meta games shake out and stuff. But yeah, hopefully, Terastallize is a, or however you pronounce that, is a healthier meta game than Gen 8 was. I do like how the most recent rule sets for Sword, like the VGC rule sets, is you can even use like mythic Pokemon and stuff. I'm glad they are actually doing that at like the end of the life cycle for Sword and Shield, because it kind of sucks that like there's a whole bunch of Pokemon that you can just never use in online because it's just banned, because it makes sense why they ban it. You know, they're event-only Pokemon. Maybe just stop doing event-only Pokemon. But, you know, it's cool that you can actually finally use those. I haven't checked to see how broken Melmetal is with its, like, 8 billion attack damage they can do with Double Iron Bash. Non-D-Max meta, check button Zard. Could work when using Blast Burn. Oh, yeah, that's neat. Can't move next turn, but if it gets attacked, it gets free reset. Yeah, there you go. That's a cool idea. See, again, these are like dumb ideas that I would just never think about doing. Though there is a, oh, no, wait, sorry. I was thinking there's an item that, lets you, I guess, Power Herb, right? Probably? Or whichever one it is that, lets you move, like a 2-turn move. It lets you just attack on the first turn of it. But I don't know, is there anything that does it for, like, the moves have to recharge, like Hyper Beam or anything like that? Obviously, again, like you said, eject button. If you get moved out of the battle, then you can come back in and it's reset. Also, I do know when they had a trailer for competitive stuff at the World Championships. And I know there were some cool items that were introduced with that. I don't remember any of them. Just because, again, it's been a couple months now, and it's not something that I'm super interested in, but hopefully a new competitive is pretty good. Because I know, even if I'm, like, not super interested, but I know a lot of people do like playing online for that. Mythical Pokemon aren't really good at all. It's just, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, because there's kind of two different tiers there. So there's legendary Pokemon, which are the Pokemon that you can typically catch in game, like Zacian, Kyogre, etc. But then there's like mythic Pokemon that are usually event only. So stuff like Mew, Celebi, Melmetal. Melmetal counts in that category, but obviously I know, like, you know, that's a weird one because you can catch Meltan in Pokemon Go. It's just under special circumstances. And, you know, there are other exceptions. Deoxys is considered a mythic, but that's because it was originally event only. Again, it's in ORAS, but yeah, because like for a while, you've been able to use at least some amount of the legendaries in Sword and Shield. Like sometimes it's been like restricted to just one, or like some set of the legendaries will be restricted to just one. But up until the last couple of series, stuff like Mew and Celebi and whatnot have just not been allowed in the format whatsoever. But the most recent like last couple of months of the game have been it was restricted to Ubers. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I'm glad they just kind of went like, yeah, you know what, this format, or you know, this game's winding down, so let's just let them have at it, whatever. If that ends up broken, it's fine. But yeah, like you said, a lot of those mythics honestly aren't that great. There's probably a couple exceptions to that. I should look up, what was the one that, never mind, this is like it's specific to a YouTuber. But it's like, they typically, whenever there's a new like rule set, or whenever there's a new season, basically, because it's when the ladder resets, basically, and everyone that's in like Master Ball tier or whatever gets sent back down to is it Ultra Ball or whatever it is. Basically he does a thing where whenever the ladders get reset, he tries to get #1 in the world with some sort of unusual Pokemon in his party. Like, I know he tried with, I don't remember if he succeeded or not, but he tried with both Leafeon and Glaceon at different points. And stuff like that. I know he just, on the 1st of this month, tried to do it with some mythic that's not stellar. I should probably go watch that video sometime. Ow, I guess I counted that one a little bit early. Alright. God, we've already done almost 100 eggs today. Though I guess I have been going for about an hour and a half, so it's not too crazy. But yeah, I'll do at least, I'll get to at least 1,300 tonight. Assume I don't get the shiny, which at this point I'm just going to assume I'm not ever getting the shiny, and this is my purgatory for the rest of my life. Not really, but it is starting to feel that way. But yeah, I'll get to at least 1,300. I'll probably wrap up there, to be honest. Maybe if I get like a burst of energy, I'll try and do another 50 more. But we'll see when we get there. In your honest opinion, Charizard is #1 most broken Pokemon? I mean, Landorus, Therian form, Xerneas. There's a lot of stuff. Charizard's pretty damn good, but I don't know if I would consider it really anywhere on the leaderboard for most broken. But granted, I don't play that much competitive, so that's all just like secondhand knowledge. So, and I guess it also does depend on like what like level of skill you're at, because I'm sure in like some lower you know, skill levels it might be possible, or maybe, you know, higher. I don't know. The point is it I don't know. That's a surprising opinion, but also not completely outlandish. Now if you're saying something like Stunfisk is the most broken Pokemon, all right, you might need to I need to check you into a mental health facility, but yeah, Charizard's a good one. Good shiny, too. Again, it's another Pokemon that turns black with a shiny. I will say, Hisuian Braviary is probably one of the best-looking shinies we've gotten in a while. That thing is freaking sick-looking. Not very good in the game, but he made it to Master Ball last 3 seasons he played. Hey, Master Ball's pretty good. I've not really done much with competitive, so there was one time where I made like a serious attempt at it with right after Isle of Armor came out. There was the online competition in game for Armor Beginnings, so you had to use Pokemon that were added to Sword and Shield with Isle of Armor. I think it was added to it. It might have just been stuff that was in the Isle of Armor decks. I forget which one. But yeah, I tried to do that. Yeah, that was rough. I think I didn't lose every game, but or every match, but I probably lost like 2/3 of them. And on the 3rd day, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm good. I know where this is going. I definitely had lost ladder points instead of gained them, or whatever it's called in the online mode, anyways. So we're at 1250. That'd be 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, so we need to fill up this box and then get like 10 more. Okay. So we still got a little ways to go here, which I guess makes sense because it's 50 more eggs. I just, I didn't like kind of think about how many boxes I needed to fill beforehand. And so I like didn't have like a gauge on how far into that I needed to go, but yeah, once I get to like all of the slots that I want to have filled with hatched Galarian Corsola, then I'll stop collecting eggs and I'll just start riding across the bridge. So I'll probably be going for another well, with the old way I used to do this, I would say I would be going for probably another like 50 minutes tonight, so about another hour, but we'll see. Maybe we'll wrap up in like the next 30 minutes. Depends on how much of a difference this strat makes in time. But yeah, we'll go a little bit longer. I would like to, at some point, start doing a little bit longer and longer streams and maybe get close to like the 4-hour mark. But I need to work my way up to that because for the most part, I stream after working at my day job. Well, day job, it's, you know, mostly dinner shift type stuff, but you know what I mean, my actual job. And so usually I'm kind of tired when I come back from that, like tonight. fact, you can kind of see, I think a lot of that shadow, you can kind of see the bags under my eyes. But, we'll see. I'd like to do more and more streaming. I enjoy doing this a whole lot. Even though, you know, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm just talking into a microphone while watching digital animals hatch from eggs. When you take in consideration Charizard is run-of-the-mill, I mean, fair enough. I guess if that's, yeah, that's fair enough. It's definitely powerful compared to its rarity. That's fair enough. But I think that's also pretty important that Pokemon has at least some more regular Pokemon that are up there with the legendaries and stuff too, because if Pokemon was just the legendaries for like online mode, it'd probably get pretty boring. I mean, already it's fairly, you know, there's definitely a lot of recurring Pokemon that you see. Though, thinking of a video that VGC Wolfie made once, which Wolfie, he does a lot of, like, you know, Pokemon content. Obviously, he has VGC in his name. But also, he, I think 2013, he won the World Championship or something like that. So, you know, pretty damn good at competitive. Has an idea what he's talking about. Something he's brought up before that, even if you're seeing the same, like a lot of the same Pokemon getting used in like every team, a lot of times they're not all being built the same, you know? So like it's definitely, if you're like very casually looking at VGC, it's definitely easy to be like, oh, it's just all the same Pokemon being used. This is kind of boring. But like, no, actually there's a lot of strat that goes into it. But there is some stuff that's just like, you know, again, Geomancy, Xerneas, Landorus T, just like, there's a lot of stuff that's just like, okay, this is basically a pillar of the online meta, but, you know, then people learn how to deal with it, and then once that becomes popular, then people learn how to deal with that, and life goes on. He asked to give Lucario's Zacian power creep. How good was Lucario's Mega Lucario? Mega was great. That's good to hear. Although I guess it does really suck, because now that it's probably safe to assume Megas aren't coming back, at least in a mainline title, which kind of really sucks. I do kind of get why they have, or why they're not doing that, why they're like kind of just doing a new mechanic with each game, because it's, you know, if a game had Megas and, you know, not even like Dynamax, but just G-Max forms, and then Terastallize and Z moves, like, that would be a lot of mechanics to not only have the player have to like mentally think about, but just like balance in terms, or juggle in terms of balance. It's just like, there's a lot to do there, and like, let's be honest, I can tell you that Wolfie gets PTSD from Xerneas. Yeah. I've definitely heard him mention Xerneas a couple of times. I always want to say, didn't he make a video at one point, like, talking about all the Pokemon that he would, you know, kind of wishes would get, like, removed from the online or whatever, and, like, one of them is definitely Xerneas. Also Incineroar. I know Incineroar's a big one for him. And, well, most people, because, you know, it's an extremely, or a very good Pokemon with Intimidate, so, you know. Xerneas your favorite legendary, but Charizard is your homie. That's fair enough. I'm always going to be I'm always going to be a big fan of Typhlosion, just because being a Gen 2 kid, I mean, Cyndaquil was always my starter, so. But yeah, in terms of legendaries, I don't know what would be my favorite legendary, to be honest. I do like the design of Vettel, the Y version of Xerneas. I'm not quite sure. I think I pronounced that close to correctly, but I've never actually like used it or anything. I just think it looks really cool. Zacian. Yeah, Zacian's alright. I mean, it's extremely good in terms of, you know, how powerful it is, but I mean, Ho-Oh kind of has a special place. Oh, I mean, Galarian Zapdos, if we're gonna count the Galarian forms of stuff or whatever. That's one that's like, I freaking love Galarian Zapdos. I'm trying to think what all legendaries there are. I feel like legendaries are the type of thing where, like, I will always use them in my playthroughs because they're just so good. But like, I don't know. I don't really think about them too much. You want an IRL Husky with Zacian color scheme? That would be pretty cool. I did put eggs back in, right? Yes, okay. But yeah, I do like, I like Dialga. Rayquaza. Rayquaza is probably my favorite. Yeah, there we go. That's probably my favorite legendary. I mean, again, being Gen 2 kid, I'm kind of biased towards, like, Suicune, or not, sorry, not Suicune. Like, Entei. I like Entei a lot. Just because, I feel like Entei was the first one of those dogs that I saw in a gold version. And it was always being, like, a roaming legendary. It was always like, whoa, this is, like, super cool. That's something I kind of wish that we would bring back. I mean, I know they did with like in Isle of Armor, or sorry, not Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra, when they introduced the Galarian forms of the legendary birds. Those were kind of roaming Pokemon, but it was a little annoying because you couldn't tell where in the area it was, really. You just had to run around until you found it. Like, at least with... God, I'm so sorry. I don't know why my throat is so dry today. But, like, there's some times where I'm, like, trying to talk and, like, just like, my throat catches. It's like, okay, time to cough. Anyways. But, yeah, like, in the old games, like, you could look on the map and it would tell you, like, what route the Pokemon was on, right? And then just any random battle in that route, it would possibly be in it. I thought that was pretty cool. Zoroark. Yeah, Zoroark's a very cool Pokemon. I'm glad I got a Hisuian form, too. Although, I will say, shiny hunting Hisuian Zorua was probably, other than the starters, was probably the worst shiny hunt I did in Legends Arceus. In fact, even considering the starters, other than Cyndaquil, honestly, the Zorua just sucked because the area that it's in, the Icelands, likes to crash like every 5 or 10 times you enter it, so that was fun. And then you go to its area, and sometimes they'll spawn inside the rock that's there. And it's like, cool, hope that wasn't the shiny in there. I guess you would probably hear it if it was, but it's like, come on, why are we having Pokemon spawn inside of a rock? And then that area just seems like, I mean, the Jet Ball and the other, you know, the wing and the, what's the other? A Feather and Wing and Jet Ball, that's what they were. Those things were always kind of wonky with the physics, but then in that area, it seemed like because there was a bit of, like, slopes and stuff going on, it, like, just didn't like to cooperate. And it's just, I had so much trouble with that hunt. And I felt like it took a lot longer than it should have, too. The first one was okay. Didn't take too long. The second one took me a long time. But I think part of that was I was starting to get tilted because of all the issues I was having with it. But yeah, Zoroark is definitely one of the cooler Pokemon. Wasn't count of how many DC areas you've gotten where opponent gets messed up with the Zoroark jokes. Yeah. Alright, so I think I need 10 more eggs, looks like, because we need 10 more after this. Yeah. I'll have to, like, try and mentally keep track of that. It's possible I might get a couple more than that, too, but I won't bother hatching them on this stream. Yeah, that should be right. I'll just save them for next time. Again, I might start doing a thing where I start collecting a bunch of eggs before the stream, and then I can do like 300 or 400 at once. But at least until I like get my Galarian or another Galarian Slowpoke shiny. Because that's I'm working on that hunt off stream. I probably won't do that. I'm at, God, I've done 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've done 210 eggs, I believe, of Galarian Slowpoke, because I've done like 7 boxes of it. Mind you, I have already gotten one. I got one on stream already. That one I made into a Galarian Slowbro. But I still need 2 more, because I need just Galarian Slowpoke, and I also need Galarian Slowking. So yeah, it's Slowpoke, Slowking, Corsola still, Zigzagoon, Linoon, Darmanitan, Darumaka, there's 2 more. I know one of them, I just can't remember the name, and I can't remember what the last one is. I can look it up, actually, right now, I suppose. I will do that. Hold on. Let's just look that up. I know I have an idea of what it is. Stunfisk is one of them, and then the last one is, what is that last one? Alright, hurry up and load, please. Alright, I'll load that in the background a little bit. Why is this not opening? I know I'm using a lot of data on my computer right now because of, there we go. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm streaming right now, so I get that it's going to take a little bit longer, but it shouldn't have taken that long. Oh, Yamask, that's the other one. So, yeah, I need Slowpoke, Slowking, Corsola, Zigzagoon, Linoon, Darumaka, Darmanitan, Yamask, and Stunfisk. All those as Galarian forms. And I need to get them before November 18th. But I won't necessarily be doing all of those on stream because the stuff that I've already, so like Slowpoke, since I've already done one of those on stream, I'm not too worried about it. I just want to get at least one of each species on stream, if possible. So, like, Zigzagoon, I might breed one of those off-stream, and Darmanitan, I might breed one of those off-stream. But all the others will hopefully be streamed. We'll see. As we get closer to the new games coming out, I might have to do some of that off-stream, but we'll see. Copying Charizard and using Flamethrower can take a good while till opponent realizes something isn't right. Yeah, so I've never really used Zoroark. Like, I like the idea that, like, it disguises itself as another Pokemon. So I'm guessing it still has its original moveset. It's just it looks like the other Pokemon, right? So yeah, that would take a little bit to figure out. I certainly wouldn't ever notice. I don't know movesets well enough to know if it's using a completely wrong move. Like if it uses like Water Gun or something, you know, if it's a Charizard using Water Gun, I'd be like, you know, that might be a Zoroark. But otherwise, I would have no idea. Oh god, are we really not gonna get this tonight either? It's Evil Tech, yeah. Okay, so I need 8 more eggs. Is that right? I only got 2 eggs on that set? Huh, okay. Need 7 more. I'm just gonna be like keeping track of that. So I don't, you know, I don't necessarily want to go over if I don't have to. No sense in wasting the time on that on stream tonight. But also, if I don't, like, say it out loud, it doesn't, like, register in my brain. I'm really bad about keeping stuff like that in my brain. Need 6 more of those now. Like, there'll be a thing where, like, you can tell me, like, a number or something that, like, I need to know. And the second I have walked away, like, yeah, it'll already left my mind. And, like, it doesn't happen all the time. It only maybe, you know, maybe say 5% of the time. 5 more, by the way. But just the fact that it ever happens, I'm just, like, always paranoid that it's going to happen, which then makes me feel like it's going to happen even more than it does. Because there's been times, like, in the past when I've been, when I've delivered pizzas and stuff, for instance, where, like, the person will be in, like, a gate community or something, and they won't have given me the gate code. And I'll call them and be like, hey, what's the gate code? And, like, I'll be on my way there, right? So not at the gate yet. And they'll be like, yeah, it's this. And I'm like, okay, awesome. Thank you. I'll be there in a little bit. And then I'll get to the gate, and it's already gone. Just, like, completely out of my brain. And it's just like, oh, fucking damn it. It hasn't bitten me in the ass yet, but it's going to one of these times. Okay, hold on. Let's evaluate. I think I need 3 more? Sorry, no, 4. Yeah, 3 more. Okay. I don't even know why I'm moving these already, but whatever. When you get better at the game, you'll bring Zoroark to regionals one day. I would assume it's had some use, right? Again, especially with something like a Flamethrower Charizard or something like that. I would assume it's seen, like, major competitive play before. But yeah, I wish I was, like, good at doing competitive. And I suppose if I actually did it, I would be. And, like, I've gotten a lot better at Pokemon since, you know, years ago. Like, when I played Let's Go Eevee, dude, I loaded up my Let's Go Eevee save after playing, like, not that long ago. Like, it, you know, it'd been after, like, Sword and Shield been out for a while. I think before, like, BDSP maybe, right? And I go and load up that save, and my Eevee has, like, 3 moves that are the same. Or not my Eevee, but, like, you know, like my Charizard or whatever has, like, 3 fire moves. And, like, at the time, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense because it's a fire type. Let's take advantage of stab. And then I go and reload that save years later. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Why would I ever do that? You only need 1, jackass. Or maybe 2 if they have, you know, very unique effects. So I've definitely gotten a lot better than that. And that's just from playing the game normally. But I'm so bad about, like, using, like, you know, moves that buff stats. Like, I always, you know, look at those. And to be fair, on a playthrough, you don't really need to use those. But I always look at those and just like, why do I bother with that when I can just have another attacking move? You know? Actually, we might have already bred too many, now that I think about it. Yeah, we actually don't even need these 2 eggs. Okay, well. So we got... Is that right? Hold on. 1, 2... Okay, yeah, that's right. Whoops, we already bred too many. Okay, well, now we're in the final stretch, so I'm just going to start crossing the bridge a whole lot here. But also, yeah, so Zoroark has been used in the past. I thought I had seen something like that. But yeah, just the fact that you can, you know, you can disguise a Pokemon as a different Pokemon, and they won't realize what's going on for a second. Just that little bit of confusion can be enough to completely change a battle. I am curious with that, at least with the, in like the official online mode, do they consider like, for instance, Zoroark and Hisuian Zoroark to be separate Pokemon? Or is it like, because they're technically the same dex number, they're technically considered the same Pokemon? Like how you can't use, like, you know, multiple different forms of Unknown, for example. I don't know why the fuck you would ever use Unknown in online, but I can't think of a better example of that. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate the follow. But yeah, I don't know, does, I guess Hisuian Zoroark doesn't even have the same ability, does it? Actually no, because yeah, it does disguise it, Jesus Christ, I can't speak. It does look like a trainer or something in the update, right? So I guess it would have the same ability, but yeah, that'd be real fucking mean to be able to use, both forms of Zoroark. It has the same ability. Okay, I thought so. You could have 2 Pokemon disguised as other Pokemon. Yeah, I think the official mode is, since they are considered to have the same dex number, it's considered the same Pokemon for, online purposes. In terms of, like, you can't have multiple Pokemon with the same dex number. I wonder if, Smogon's the same or not. Actually, I suppose I could just look that up. It's typing having like 3 immunity. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that was a big deal when it got announced too, because it's normal ghost. Yeah, that's pretty good. Though speaking of immunities, boy, I really hope Shedinja isn't in the Scarlet and Violet, because what is it? I forget what combination of Terastalize typing and the air balloon, I think, or something, or the balloon item or whatever it is. But it's basically immune. It's not even basically immune. You can't hit it with a move. As long as it has the Wonder Guard ability, there's like a certain combination of typings and items there that it can theoretically have with Terastalize that it'll just be immune to damage. The only way to kill it will be either like burn or like weather effects or stuff like that. That is, if Shedinja is in the new games, that thing is gonna be evil. I'm sure the meta, like the top tier, will stabilize itself pretty alright, but God, for a little bit, like if you don't have a team with some way to counter that, you just, it's an I win button. Though I suppose you would just end up seeing a whole lot more Sandstorm and Hail teams appear. More so Sandstorm. Alright, 15 more Pokemon. Put more in my party? I didn't. I just moved them out. God damn it. Alright, back to this shit. It's alright. We only got 3 more sets of these. I can only potentially screw this up 3 more times. God, we're going to be at 92%. Wish there was Zoroark with Steel immunity. I have some evil troll ideas. There's nothing immune to Steel, right? I don't think there is anything. Unless there's an ability for it, but there's no typing that's immune to it. Which is probably for the best. Steel's already a pretty damn good typing. Actually, wait a second. That would help counter the Steel being one of the one of the best typings. So maybe that isn't a good thing. That there's nothing that is immune to it. Yeah, if we don't get this in the next 15 eggs, we're going to be at 8% chance of my shiny hunt taking this long. So, after 1,300 eggs, it would be... Okay. I just accidentally hit A and I picked up an item. I know there's feathers on this bridge, but what the fuck? I was not expecting that. But yeah. If you were to hatch 1,300 eggs yourself, any given 1,300 eggs with, you know, Masuda method and Shiny Charm, you'd have 98% chance, or 92% chance rather, that you will see at least one shiny in that time. My life is suffering. Well, guess I know what tomorrow's stream's gonna be. To be fair, there's gonna be more shiny hunting regardless. Like I said earlier, I'm all in on shiny hunting Galarian forms until the new games come out. Or I get them all, which, with how long this one's taking, we might still be on Corsola in a month. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, like I said earlier, I stream currently 5 times a week, Wednesday through Sunday, so just no streams on Monday or Tuesday, generally. If for some reason I miss a day, then I'll probably double back and do it on like a Monday. But in general. And I typically stream from about 10:30 p.m. till, or starting from 10:30 p.m. till like 12:30 a.m. is generally going to be where my start times are. And going for about 2 to 3 hours every night. So, for reference, this is Mountain Standard Time. It's currently about 2:40 a.m. for me, so just make that adjustment for yourself and you'll have an idea. I think tomorrow we'll be starting around 12:30. Typically, it's either going to be like 10:30 or 12:30. Maybe like 11 in there or somewhere, but typically like the weekend days are going to be a little bit later just because I have to work a little bit later. Did I move into my party? I did. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing a lot of shiny hunting. If somehow we get this in the next 10 eggs, then I'll move on to Zigzagoon tomorrow. But call me crazy, I don't think the odds are too good. But yeah, and you know, I have a YouTube channel. I put all my VODs on the YouTube channel, or most of my VODs. Sometimes there's a stream that's just like, either it's really short, and I'm just like, you know, I don't feel good or whatever, and I kind of tap out early. Or you know, for whatever reason, I don't upload it, but the vast majority, 95% of them at least, go up on my YouTube. And I do record in a higher quality than I stream at, because streaming, you know, you're kind of limited on bitrate. Granted, I understand quality doesn't really matter. There's 92%. For shiny hunting, it doesn't really matter what the quality's at. You know, you're not going to be seeing a whole lot of compression artifacting or anything, but it does look a little bit better. And I mostly just do that because I just like, you know, making my content as high of a quality as I can reasonably do so. Plus, with the VODs and stuff, like, or with the YouTube channel, like, the VODs don't disappear after 15 days, and I mean, that's the main thing. Like, the VODs don't disappear after 15 days, and it's in higher quality. The quality matters more so for, like, when I'm doing a playthrough or something. Yeah, I think the, either today or... I say tomorrow, but technically it is tomorrow, because again, it's almost 3 a.m. But yeah, within the last couple of days, my last, the last part of my Let's Go Eevee playthrough will have gone live. I played through Let's Go Eevee again, because I wanted to play it again before the new games come out. And it wasn't quite as good as I remember it, just because I before hadn't realized how broken your starter is, the Eevee, or the Pikachu in Let's Go Pikachu. But those starters are broken AF. They have max IVs, they get access to some incredibly overpowered moves. Like a 100 accuracy, 90 base power electric move that is a guaranteed paralyze every time. And you might think, hearing that, oh, okay, well, that's probably only got, you know, 5 PP. No, it's 15. So yeah, like, the battling was very easy. I did move stuff back in, yes, okay. But, I pretty much just 99, or, like, probably 95% of battles I just purely used Eevee on. But it still was a fun time. Did still enjoy it. Motion controls still suck. Most of the playthrough wasn't too bad, because it's like, you know, you do it and it goes in the wrong direction. It's like, oh, god damn it, you do it again, it's fine. Catching Zapdos, about rage quit. That was extremely frustrating. But we got it. We got all the legendaries, all 4 of them in Gen 1. And yeah, it was a fun time. And that whole playthrough is up on Twitch. Or on Twitch. It was streamed on Twitch, but it's also on YouTube. Along with, I have a playthrough of, you know, BDSP, Legends Arceus. I did play through a Sword last year. And again, pretty much all my shiny hunts are up there too. Obviously, I know it's kind of weird to... Or it might be a little bit weird to go back and watch, like, an old shiny hunt where it's like, well, you know when I'm gonna get it. You just can... You look at what the last part of it was. But they are up there if you want to watch them. It's a lot of me talking to myself, so, you know. I promise I'm not crazy. But, I mean, that basically is all Twitch is. Especially when you're newer to streaming. Mind you, I have been streaming for a year, so I should probably be getting more viewers than I usually do. But I'm not too worried about it. I do definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in today. Today was an awesome stream. Kind of wish every stream was like this, but, you know, it is what it is. I stream regardless of how many viewers I'm gonna get, because I'm gonna shiny hunt regardless. Anyways, let me just go through the... Okay, for some reason I thought I saw one of these with like 4 no goods. I was like, that shouldn't be possible. I'm just gonna go through all these just to double check them. I'm 99% certain there wasn't a shiny, but, you know, I do want to make sure. Just in case, because I am an idiot, and I could have just autopiloted over it. Mentally autopiloted, that is. Lucario with Behemoth Blade would be dope. That would be pretty good. A fighting, Behemoth Blade is 100 base power, right? 100 base power fighting move on the fighting type? Yeah. Or is Behemoth Blade Steel? I forget which one it is. I think Lucario is fighting steel anyways, right? So it doesn't really matter. Steel type, okay. Yeah, so no shinies. Any given 1,300 eggs, you would have a 92.12% chance of having a shiny. Guess he still doesn't have a shiny. But, again, as I said a couple times, I mean, that's just how it goes. It doesn't matter how many eggs you hatch. Again, I could do 10,000 eggs, I could do 100,000 eggs. The odds never get any better. It'd be real crazy if I did that many and didn't get it, because it's 1 in 512 odds. But, in theory, it can happen. Yeah, so we'll just be doing more of this tomorrow. Just more shiny hunting. We'll probably do another... I would love to say I'm going to push myself and do 200 so I can just get to an even 1,500. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to promise that. We will do at least 150, just like today. But I'm not going to promise 200 as much as I would like to. And I am kind of tired, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do any more tonight. Not even I don't think to. I'm just not going to. Yeah, again, thank you guys, everyone who watched, everyone who followed. I appreciate the support a whole hell of a lot. Stream tomorrow. But yeah, go check out my YouTube channel and, you know, watch the VODs if you want to, or don't. Again, it's all up to you. I don't mind either way. I just appreciate you guys tuning in at all. Anyways, for about the 13th time that I've said in the last 10 seconds, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.